and just leave it dormant so people on the internet can see it's going to start soon. And I'll put the camera in the air to see the aeroplanes arriving. Okay. Probably need to turn my own simulator down a bit, which I've already done. Good. Okay, so I can see the live stream voice chat, or text chat, sorry, which is good.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hi, Jim. How you doing?
Hey. Jim, hi.
Hi, Mark. How's your wheels, Jonathan?
Down. Oh dear.
I'm saying nothing else, that's it, okay.
I was trying to figure out afterwards what had happened. I think the only explanation I can come up with is that they must have... The failure I saw in the cockpit must have been related, and the wheels just didn't come down with the lever.
You didn't check your lights, did you?
No. Oh, well, I flicked the lever, but they didn't come down.
But you didn't check your landing lights.
No, I didn't. No.
You're geared down, I mean.
That's the problem with these study level aeroplanes, isn't it? You have to really be careful.
Anyway, it was a wonderful break to the afternoon. Thank you.
So I'm already live streaming on the internet, so I'm just going to leave it with the drone camera pointing at the departure area of this first airfield. So we'll see aeroplanes arriving slowly. Move the camera.
Good evening, everybody. Good morning
Ellis.
from me. How are you?
What time is it over there, Ellis?
Hi, Alice.
Bloody 9 a.m. in the morning. You've catapulted me another hour into the future, you guys.
Get those lottery tickets for us.
When did the clocks change over there then?
Oh, we changed over, went to daylight saving about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
So it used to be 7 o'clock in the morning that I had to get up. Then it went to 8 o'clock because you guys hadn't moved. Now you've moved and it's now gone to 9 o'clock in the morning. Are you all confused?
Yep. Because I know the US has a different changeover date as well, doesn't it?
I don't know when theirs is. But we all have different dates. I know that.
When's yours, Mark?
Next week, I believe it's the 6th.
And good evening, everybody.
Hi, Bert.
Good evening, Bert.
Jonathan, have you been watching any of the Girls' World Cup?
No, not recently. No, my daughters have because they're rugby mad. So.
Yeah, I know. Oh, there's been some great games, I tell you.
Yeah.
Really good.
I think there's an inevitable that England are going to end up playing New Zealand in the final, aren't they?
I think so. Look, they're the two standout sides at the moment, without a doubt.
Yeah, it could go either way, I think.
Good evening, gents.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Let's see. So yeah, I've already got the live stream on just so everybody knows. So we're broadcasting live on YouTube. hopefully we might pick up some new members if people see it. I had somebody complain when I published it after the fact last week and say, why didn't you put this out live? I would have joined in. Right, I'm going to grab a quick coffee before we get going. I'll be back in a couple of minutes.
I wonder if we should tell Ronnie and Oz that he only has to get up at 7 o'clock now.
You think he will? He might do.
He might do. He keeps complaining about the fact that 5's too early in the morning for him. So maybe 7 o'clock won't be too bad and he can make it.
Right, I have coffee. Just reminding myself, the route takes us to a VOR, doesn't it, to begin with? 117. Show information. 11770. Okay. myself back outside the aeroplane until a few more people have arrived.
So we're going for a VOR, not an NDB. Oh yeah, yes, I've got it. Yeah.
Yeah, LDP.
7770. Okay.
Yeah.
They're the com navs, not ADF.
Yeah, I was just looking at this. I'm in the RV14 and I can't find the course knob.
Is it different than the 7?
I don't think so. I'm just looking at the... I wonder if the buttons have multiple functions, maybe.
When you go on full screen on the compass screen, there's the course is in the barometer right there on the right. The two.
Oh, of course,
on
yes,
the right.
it's on the full screen, yes. It's one of those typical multi-function things that, yeah, makes sense.
Mark, did you get set up on ACARS?
Jim, say again?
Did you get set up on ACARS for this flight?
No, I did not.
55 degrees.
You'll have to step me through that.
It's straightforward. But leave it for tonight.
Oh, right, not right now.
No, because you've got to go into sim brief and everything, so it's not, you ain't got time now.
I'm going to go and do some circuits of the airfield, but I'm going to go and change my control profile first. 5 minutes before I came on here, I was recording a video with the 737 to help somebody. I'll have to upload it later.
There's a lot of names on here I don't recognise tonight.
I can hear a big jet. Are you here, Jim, in your big 737 or whatever, Airbus?
You're very quiet.
Yeah, you're very quiet, Dave.
Hang on, I'll go and look at my sounds.
I can't hear him.
You can turn individual people up on.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that's a good point.
Just in case anyone doesn't know.
It's always 100%. He's always 5.5.
Is that any better?
Yep.
No, quiet. Much quieter. Get quieter. Get a lot quieter is better.
Jim, are you running transmitter?
I should be, but I'll check it. Yeah, I am.
That's a good point. I don't think I am. I am now. Right, I'm just going to orbit the airfield for a few minutes. We'll leave it till 5 past until we leave.
Jonathan,
Yep.
you do have to actually execute transmitter, correct? It does not just run automatically? Or am
Yeah,
I
you
not-
have to go and run it. Yeah.
Jim, did you get that?
Yeah, I got that. Dave, what were you asking?
That you actually have to execute transmitter. You can't just expect it to run. You have to execute it for it to connect.
No, I got that, Mark. I'm asking Dave what he was asking me.
All right.
But he seems to have disappeared. You there, Dave?
Which one?
You. You.
Oh, you do mean me?
Yeah.
What was I asking you?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you.
I didn't ask you anything.
Yes, you did. After I said there's a lot of new people on here.
Oh God, it sounds like an old folks home.
I think I'm dealing with an old well, not anyway.
Okay. Hey, just be careful what you're saying, you guys.
Hey, Jim, I think you're imagining things.
Anyway, are we going to get started? Because it's just gone
Yeah,
past 8
yeah.
o'clock. And it's
Yeah,
quite a long
let's get
flight ahead
going.
of us.
Right. Hear
So-
that jet?
Good evening, everybody. This is Nico's radio check.
Yes, we can hear you. Welcome to the
5
flight.
for 5, Nico.
So this evening we are heading to Mount Roraima in Venezuela, which was made famous by the book The Lost World. It's a plateau where it's so difficult to get to the top of the plateau that the ecology up there is essentially unchanged for thousands of years. And scientists, every time they go up there, discover hundreds of species that have never been seen before. So there's pretty much research stations there year round. So it's quite difficult to get to. You can actually visit it as a tourist. There's a company called Explore that do trips there. So first leg tonight is 11 miles, 55 degrees to a VOR. And then for those that like doing radio navigation, we can navigate by VOR and distance measurement to get to the mountain. You can see the mountain in the distance, to be honest. As soon as you get any altitude at takeoff, you can see where we're going.
Should we turn on fauna then?
So it would be 117.70 if you do want to use VOR navigation and just fly straight to the VOR station. Or just fly 55 degrees. It's not very far to it, so... So for those that haven't flown with us before, we tend to stick to about 120 knots or thereabouts, so to give people a chance to keep up that are in slower aircraft. If you do get massively ahead of the group, just think about either doing a loop back to go and join back into the pack, or fly formation with people just to keep yourself busy. Otherwise, just have fun. The only rule really is that conversation in the voice chat must remain family friendly. So, no contentious subjects, no arguing about anything like religion, politics, anything like that. Just keep it all about aviation and planes or what's on TV this week or whatever.
Okay, my Kodiak won't move for some reason.
Political, not needed.
Release the brakes.
Brakes are off. Engine's running.
Apply some throttle, Jim.
I got
Yep, done that.
exactly the same problem, Jim. The engine's revving up, brakes are off.
Chocks?
Active pause on and off. Try it again. Active pause on and off.
You've got all the updates, right?
No, that didn't work.
If you look outside, it hasn't got chocks on the wheels, has it?
Nope. I've done pushback anyway.
Grand Caravan got the same problem.
How strange.
Pop your Y key a couple of times. See what happens.
Yep, that's fixed it. Thank you.
Yes, it's just a bug. It happens to me and now and again with the Kodiak more than us. Just locked on and won't move.
Hasn't fixed me, I'm afraid.
Maybe try the Y key and then just skew one notch with full power. See what happens.
Where I'm a little bit ahead of the group, so I'm going to follow my own advice and do an orbit.
Okay, I'm going to shut this down and come back in directly onto runway 29, ready to go.
Yep.
See what happens.
scenery out here is not too detailed, is it? Which is perhaps why I'm getting a very high frame rate at the moment.
Yeah, it's all trees and hills and stuff, so once we get near the mountains, they're pretty spectacular.
It looks like the ground mapping is very coarse.
Yeah. It was interesting actually, I was doing some of the Himalayas tour with the airline this morning, and obviously the data for Afghanistan doesn't exist. You know, not within Microsoft's database of mapping, you know, for the ground. But once you cross over into northern India, it does exist. And Bangladesh, they exist for Bangladesh as well. So it was absolutely fascinating. There's a very clear line in quality.
I guess the Taliban's not updating their maps.
Or the any maps that were available became classified because they may be useful, or may have been, you know, a decade ago when all the trouble was happening. So when we leave the VOR at 11770, we're going 41 degrees from it for 30 miles, and that should take us straight to Mount Roraima, and you can see it in the distance anyway, so it's not a real surprise. Let's increase the range. That's interesting. So the NXI is showing multiplayer aircraft now.
Yep.
That's really nice, isn't it?
I don't know what the numbers are. -2, minus, what was that, feet below you, or?
Sure. I haven't got numbers on mine.
Yeah, mine is showing on my
Yeah, do you have to go in the XPDR and turn it on, I think?
Oh, okay.
+12, -12, -11. I'm not quite sure if it's height, 110, or I'm not sure.
It is probably tickets and shows you in hundreds of feet above or below you.
That would
Okay,
make
it's
sense.
giving them their actual height, yeah, not relative, yeah.
That makes sense. So has anybody been looking any more at those Series 4 NVIDIA cards?
No.
They're not going to sell their car or the house to go and get one.
No, I've been having laughs at the Turtle Beach's new joystick, which they're making everybody's hopes higher than they should be. Trying to pack as much technology in an F-35 and a 120 quid joystick. It's just
my word.
it's laughable.
I didn't know there was one coming out. Is it? Like
Yeah, new Turtle Beach one, yeah. It looks like something out of the space shuttle. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Touch pads here, and on the thumb has got a touch sensor, and oh my god. A ring around the bottom to do things, and there's about 15 different controls on it, and they can't even get the velocity one right. So how are they going to get that right? £129 or £119? Terrible. I suppose as long as it works, I mean, it won't last, will it? It'll fall to pieces.
I'm going to turn the time to a little bit further forward until we get sunset, I guess. I might be able to see the nav lights. If everybody's got their nav lights on, yeah, I can see them behind me.
Okay, I'm up and I'm behind everybody, so I'll catch up.
Cool. We're only doing 120 knots, so if you're in a fairly quick plane, it shouldn't take long. So yeah, huge amounts of the edge of Mount Roraima are cliff face. So I'm not sure if it's modelled all the way around, but yeah, you'll discover as we go around it. The sense of scale is the biggest thing. As you get closer, you think, how far away is it still? It's just enormous. People are starting to fly formation behind me.
I've seen no dragons or dinosaurs yet.
Well, I don't know about dragons, but there's certainly got dinosaur on here. Good evening, everybody.
No pylons, Dave.
No. I took them out earlier.
Have you got the special version of the now which plane is it that's got the, was it a Twin Otter that's got the crate in the back with the pylon print on it?
It might be the Kodiak, I'm not sure. Can't remember.
So somebody in the live stream chat is asking how they can talk. To talk, you have to join the Discord server, which is linked to in the text at the bottom of the live stream description. So we are all members of the VirtualFlight.Online Discord server. If you go and search Discord, it actually appears in the directory of Discord server's name.
You know that 20-second video I put on of this Stream Deck? It's had over 600 hits.
I think some of your pylons are more hits than that.
Right, let's see if I can keep up with this.
You're in fine fettle tonight, Joe.
Oh well, decent cup of tea.
He's here all week.
That Kodiak shifts even with the floats on it, doesn't it?
Do you want to let us into the secret as to why you've got floats on tonight?
He likes wearing it when he wears his
Very
ear.
interesting, Jonathan, because that's me, and I'm looking at your stream, and I'm not flying the Floatiac. I'm just flying the regular Kodiak, so it must be populating that model since you own it.
That's bizarre, isn't it? Because yeah, but I've got both. Have you got a custom texture?
Yeah, I am using a custom texture.
Livery,
yeah, that
sorry,
might be
yeah.
why.
Yeah, that's why then. It's Flight Sim's rubbish at that, isn't it? You'd think it would at least revert to the same model. There's a caravan that's just come past.
I'm in a caravan today and the blimmin' thing wants to go too fast, so I've got a button right back. But it's still creeping up on everybody.
It is, and I've got a nice live view at the moment with the stars and the strobes.
I missed the part where it said 41 degrees.
I forgot to change the payload on my plane, so I've got the The girl that doesn't talk sat next to me.
Oh, the one whose feet can't reach the pedals.
That's the one. Actually, she does in this one. They must have fixed it. Her feet are actually on the pedals.
It's been a while she's grown.
Maybe. She'll hear you.
Sorry.
Mine turns pink when you get close to it.
The sunset's amazing if you set the time for the sun going down.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah, that's what I've got in my live stream at the moment, Jonathan, with the stars, but the strobes and lights off the aircraft just look awesome.
Looks like Guy Fawkes night.
Yeah.
See, it's a bit different tonight. After we've had an explore around Roraima, rather than land somewhere, we're just going to set the planes on autopilot going towards the next mountain and then have our break and come back a bit later.
Just climb into the back.
I got my Garmin G1000 ready.
It's also pretty cool at 6 o'clock in the morning.
But yeah, you start to get some idea of the scale of this mountain because we're still a few miles away and it's just getting bigger and bigger in our field of view. We're still 15 miles away from it. There's lots of photographs of it on the internet. It's a shame we haven't lucked in with the weather, where the cloud base is at a few thousand feet and it's halfway up that cliff that you can see that we're approaching.
Yeah, I'd see at the elevation profile, it's about 6,000, isn't it? 6,000 feet high.
Where it's odd, it's kind of vertical for huge stretches of it.
Soaring Ridge looks quite nice actually. I think that's a standard preset.
So, a guy called Connor on the live stream is saying, I'm trying to join and I can't find you. Are you on live time and traffic? If you have a look on, go to VirtualFlight.Online/who. I'll type it into the chat for him. https://virtualflight.online/who. That gives a map of the world, and if you look where Venezuela is, you'll see a cluster of aeroplanes there, and that's us. Or if you scroll down to the bottom and then click on one of our names, like my own name, it will zoom the map into me.
You're rocketing ahead again, John.
Yeah, I know. I've just realised that as I said it, so I'm going to
Yeah.
do a loop.
I'm doing a loop myself.
I'm going to come back and face the traffic coming straight at me like a Star Wars scene.
Why are we turning around?
Oh, I just got ahead of the pack. So I get to see all the nav lights come whizzing by now. It's very cool. Oh,
What's the plan?
Someone done a barrel roll.
What's the plan, Jonathan? Are we flying around the mountain or?
Just have a look around for a few minutes and then we'll head off once everybody's probably crashed or
Bumping into one another, you got to keep it friendly, you know.
Wind my time back a bit, it's getting a bit dark.
Oh, there's a splat on there for a touch and go somewhere on that mountain, isn't there?
There is. So yeah, that cliff face on the right hand side of it goes on for miles and miles. It goes right around the corner like it. There's waterfalls on it in the real world. And then on the left hand side, much higher up, there's another cliff face that goes on for miles and miles.
Well, the colours are nice with the Accu-Season colours. They're quite nice. Lots of reds and
Yeah,
and hardly any trees, which is nice.
it's really odd. But yeah, this is the mountain that gave Conan Doyle the idea for The Lost World. I guess in the days before satellites arrived, there were still huge stretches of the world that had never been seen.
And then along came David Attenborough.
Yes. They still think there's an enormous amount under the ocean that has never been explored, don't they?
Oh, there is. Some of it's just too deep to get at.
Yeah, it's like when they go into the Marianas Trench, they drop a bathysphere down to the bottom and then lift it back up again, and that's about it. Occasionally run across a giant squid or something.
It's a mystery in the world is women's minds, isn't it?
We've got to remain family friendly, remember?
Family friendly.
No politics.
It's just the scale of this place is just ridiculous.
Well, there are trees on top of it.
Yeah, there's forest up there. It's just you can't see it because it's so big. Time to go and do some low-level flying around the cliff edge, I guess.
I'm going to see if I can do a touch and go on the ridgeline.
It's ridiculous. There's just the scale is. It would be good to see this in VR actually. This is where we really are missing out if we don't have VR, I guess.
Got the Toby, which isn't too bad tonight. At least I can look around.
I routinely do all my flights in VR now, even the instrument training, which is really good actually.
I'm not jealous at all. What,
Oh, I'm getting close enough to see the trees on top.
yeah, it's ridiculous how big the mountain is.
Windy up here.
Speed, like, can I make it to the ridgeline without stalling and falling into a fiery heap?
If you go around the back of the mountain, you can really see the Lost World influence of these peaks suddenly
Just drop off.
jumping up into the sky. That's
I get my
amazing.
camping kit out.
Yeah, there's like an arc around the back of it, isn't there?
Yeah, it really is spectacular.
No problem.
And the nice thing is, because it isn't custom 3D assets, you can go right up to the edge of it.
Somebody's landed on top of it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think me and Joe, yeah.
Oh, it's the challenge then, is it? To go and put the plane right up on top of the dome at the top.
Yeah. As long as you get your stall speed right, you're fine. I'm going to roll off the end, I think, for the takeoff.
Just looking at the landscape, there's almost like a circle. I wonder if it is... No, it's not a crater. Because
would be a caldera. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I don't think it is though. It's not circular enough. And you probably most of this was bits of volcanoes a long time ago. We'd have to have a geologist on board, wouldn't we, to tell us how plateaus form.
I'm not going to risk it, guys. No.
Well, I'm going to do an interesting takeoff if anyone wants to watch.
Or the tail drops on the hill, it just nosed up.
5.
I'll just enjoy the view.
Yeah, there's a guy in the live stream chat asking, do any of you guys use VR? Yeah, there's quite a few of us on this flight are using it. Obviously I'm not. I'm very jealous of those that have got good systems because I have seen it and it works wonderfully.
Well, with the recent improvements in the last few months, it's actually got so good that you can use it for instrument flight and instrument training instead of X-Plane 11 now, which was the benchmark really previously. And you can actually do the stuff in VR instead of in 2D.
So on the back side of the mountain there's some low-lying mist, but it's such a long way down it gives you some idea how far we've climbed to come up here. It's crazy.
I'm at 8,000 feet just to get onto the top.
So am I, 8.5.
The thing with VR that gives you the complete freedom to look around wherever you want to. I mean, I'm rotating my head left and right through 180 degrees, looking wherever one is, and it's really useful to be able to do that.
Yep.
Definitely volcanic, because I've just flown over a crater.
Right. It is mad, isn't it? So I'm slowly working my way west now along the mountain. I've just probably run out of fuel in one of my fuel tanks.
That's okay. There's a gas station about 4,000 miles away.
It wasn't that. I'm being an idiot. We're at 8,500 feet and I was still on a rich mixture.
You should go to Aldi, it's a bit cheaper.
Jim, is there a guy on the next leg in a balloon that's serving coffee, do you know?
I don't think so, Ellis. Not as far as I know.
Or just grab it as you go by.
Yeah. It's called fly-through.
Circle
Afternoon,
round.
folks.
Afternoon.
It's not me that's fixated with coffee anyway, Ellis. I wouldn't know these things.
Yeah. You only drink Pinot, Jim.
Correct.
You need to branch out, mate. Diversify.
Okay, what wine would you suggest?
I'm not suggesting just wine.
Oh,
I'm into these craft beers at the moment. We've got some very nice ones down here, and some funny names. Panhead Rat Rot. How would you like to try that? It's a hazy pale. It's like drink.
Not being a beer drinker, it wouldn't do anything for me at all, I'm afraid.
Okay, it's very different. It's like drinking fruit salad.
Oh, I can get that with wine.
I know you can.
You get down the local river.
Very nice. It's like it looks like muddy water.
Got old pram wheels and shopping trolleys in it, yeah?
Yeah, probably. Tastes good though once you get used to it. The only problem is you can only drink 2 bottles of the stuff and blows your head off.
Right. I'm going to set the autopilot then. We want to be going 291 degrees.
How far along are you?
We're over the top of Mount Roraima at the moment, so we're about to leave Mount Roraima and go off towards the what was it called? The Chimanta Massif.
Thank you.
So 291 7 degrees, and so it's the extended coffee break in the middle of the flight today. So I need to remember how the autopilot works on this thing. I want heading mode.
Yeah, we can crawl into the back and just look out the window.
Yeah.
Right into the sunset. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it's photo shoot time, isn't it, on the way back? So heading, altitude, hold mode, that would do. There we go.
Oh, Vector Victor? 291.
Yeah, 291. Should take us straight out to, it's 80 miles cross country to the Chimanta Massif. And you get to enjoy the sunset if you set the time up for it. Take pretty pictures. Guess if we do the reverse, I get the early morning. It's not quite as good.
.50 p.m. is beautiful.
So Connor is asking, do I need to be on VirtualFlight.Online in order to see you guys? Nope, we are just on the Southeast Asia server on Flight Simulator. So if you fly in the Flight Sim world with all players enabled on your flight conditions, you will see us if you're on Southeast Asia. Someone else is asking, curious as to what plane you guys have as a favourite. Oh, that's a loaded question, isn't it?
I think it on what you're doing, isn't it?
All of them.
Well, and you must have a favourite, Dave.
Yeah, all of them. Like, you can't commit yourself, can you? Somebody will say that's crap.
I thought it was the longitude, Dave. I thought that was your favourite at the moment.
It is. We're flying online, in a group. That is in preference to the 737, actually. But I gotta say, the 737 PMDG is probably top of the list.
I've got a bug. It's saying I've gone offline. Connection lost.
Mine's just said the same.
10 seconds, it'll come back.
Connected now.
Everyone's
I'm
still
closest.
showing.
I don't have that problem. I'm closest to the server, you see.
I don't think it works like that, Ellis.
It might. We are using the Southeast Asia server. It can hear him shout.
He probably got a friend that works there.
Yeah, he's been down there and threatened them in the past.
Yeah, where is it? It's based in Singapore, isn't it, or somewhere
I
like
don't
that?
know.
I think it is.
It must be.
By the way, why was the Southeast server chosen?
It's because it's quieter, so you're not competing with so many other users.
Okay, good.
So yeah, it's nothing to do with lag time. The reason you might go for a more local server to your group is purely for lag. For the what's the correct term for it?
Latency.
Latency. Yeah. Lag.
Yeah, I get it.
But if you're not really concerned about it being, within a second or something, or 1/10 of a second, then just go for the quietest server.
Yeah, okay.
In the early days, it may not be the issue anymore. In the early days, if you joined a busy server, people within your group would appear and disappear all the time, because you were all competing for a number of slots.
Okay.
but we've never actually tested again to see if it's still true.
It still happens, yeah.
Right.
The truth
Oh,
is,
I can see a
use it just for Ellis. Because
can see a balloon. I'm going to go and get a coffee. Back in a minute.
Very impressed with the traffic display. That's great.
Oh, in the aircraft, what plane are you in?
Kodiak.
Oh, so you got the G1000.
Yeah.
It's good, isn't it? Seeing all the aeroplanes.
Yeah, I'm streaming it now. It's amazing.
Is this the stock Sobo software, or is it another?
No, this is the stock G1000 in the Sobo aeroplanes.
Joe, what do you have to press to get that?
That was just by default.
It's on the map screen. So if you've got two G1000s in your cockpit, the right-hand one will have the map.
I've got the map screen on, but it's not showing other aircraft. You must have to press something to show it.
Possibly.
Probably the transponders, some Picas.
Yeah, traffic option, left hand, very left hand lower panel, lower row button on that centre.
Yeah, that works.
If you go to map options, third one in, third physical button, and very left traffic on.
Got it. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Love it.
Mine just must have been on by default.
Or you fiddled with it happily in the past and it remembers.
Perhaps.
You've got the Vanden Pla version, Joe. It remembers your settings. Like got the comfy seat, like the Rover Vitesse Vanden Pla.
Vanden Plas, you mean, man?
Oh, the Plas, yeah, the Plas. Sorry.
Why
Kieran.
aye.
Really
Vanden
cool.
Pla.
See that?
That's quite freaky. If you move the camera right over to the co-pilot's head and then look down, you have a body.
Is it the female? Can you look through the back of her head and see her lipstick and her sunshades and everything?
Oh,
It's
that's a
weird.
good point. Oh, yes, you can. Oh, that's
Yeah,
that's the horror movie. That is.
Yeah, that happened to me last week. I think I posted a picture.
No, the horror movie is seeing yourself in a skirt.
No, that's just a weekend
Tuesday
day.
nights.
What you do on a Saturday night has got nothing to do with us, Dave.
Oh dear.
Right, I'm
Look,
going to go
we've
make a coffee while we're en route. This is the coffee break.
We've all dated worse. Only due to very poor disco lighting, but we've all dated worse.
I was open to that one.
Yep. You dug your own hole there, I'm afraid.
So what heading was supposed to be on?
291.
291.
Okay.
290, same thing. It's an enormous mountain we're heading towards. If you're a few degrees out, you'll still hit it.
Hopefully not.
Right, back in a minute.
Say again how to get other players on the Garmin, please.
Bottom center console. Hit the let me just go back first. Hit the map options. Third physical button in from the left, and then that will change to traffic on your very left-hand physical button. On and off traffic.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. The map gets bigger, but the aircraft icons don't get any bigger, so I still can't read them what they say. +1, -3, +42.
Yeah,
What?
plus minus 45.
What do those figures represent?
I'm just trying to figure that out.
It's everybody's below me. It must be 4,500 feet or something. Let's have a look at compact.
It can't be plus or minus.
Let's
Not,
have a look.
is it relatives?
It could be minus
7?
if they're below you, and plus
Right.
if they're above you.
I think that might be in hundreds of feet. Let's have a look. So someone's on my
That's
left.
right.
On my
Yeah.
left, plus 42. So I'm imagining they're right on my port wing, and they're 4,200 feet above me.
Yeah, and somebody's 4,800 feet below.
Oh God,
me.
yeah, that's true.
So
Yes,
that makes
someone is
sense.
there. Yeah. Yep.
I'm currently at 12,000.
That's probably you, Joe. In that case,
Yes.
it is you. Yep. Gotcha. It's just a little green dot.
Right to back. Looks like I'm getting a little bit ahead of the group. Cut back the throttle.
I assume if they go yellow, there's a TCAS warning, is it?
Oh, on the
Don't know.
G1000. That's a good question.
I've just got somebody just passing south of me. And it went yellow all of a sudden. Have a look at the window.
Yellow is a warning, and then I don't know if it goes red when you have to take action to avoid him.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm going to go and approach somebody.
It's called TICAS advisory when it's yellow, and it's you have to take action when it's red.
Catch up with this person over here.
I think you're heading towards me, Jonathan. I'll slow down slightly.
Yeah, it was Aiken Bob, but he's just gone back to normal now. He's gone past me.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if I get really close to this aircraft, if it goes red. It may be dependent on the version though. This isn't the stock G1000, I think, in the RV14, because it hasn't got the soft keys.
In order to become red, it has to talk with the other conflict aircraft, and then it gives you instructions either to climb or descend.
Yeah.
And it gives the opposite to the other.
It's the TARA conversation, isn't it?
You're within my half a kilometre
Correct.
circle. Yeah, you've gone yellow now to me.
Right, yeah, mine aren't changing colour, so let's see if I come right in on your wing if it goes red.
It's yellow, or sort of, yeah, it's pretty much yellow.
Live and learn, don't you? Wonder if my plane goes yellow when I get near a pylon.
Still, yeah, bright yellow. Hasn't changed to red at all. Any closer, you need to buy me dinner.
Let's come up alongside and wave.
Screenshot of that for you anyway.
The guy in the balloon was so happy to see me, he gave me my coffee for free.
You smooth talking silver tongued devil, you.
Did you grab it as you went past it 130 knots?
Yeah.
Yeah, he hung
the
it
other-
out on a pole.
The other guy's feeling a bit deflated.
I hope you didn't spill any.
Oh, God.
was going to say, you didn't spill any grabbing a cup at 130 knots.
You mean
Ellis.
you couldn't find decaf?
No,
Good.
Oh my god, that took me a while to get that one.
you don't get a hit from that stuff.
I don't think Ellis is the sort of person that would ever spill coffee and waste it, would he?
No.
If you dropped a cup of coffee, it'd hit you on the back of the head, wouldn't it?
Hey,
He'd catch it in an instant.
Oh,
I'm of Scottish heritage.
Oh yeah, if you drop money, it hits you on the back of the head, yeah.
Noldens are the best.
Reminds me of the Billy Connolly joke. He fell over and he lying on the floor, and some bloke comes up and said, "Are you alright?" He said, "No, I'm just trying to break a bar of chocolate in my back pocket."
that's a stupid joke.
There's a mountain ahead of you.
There is. And
That sunset is stunning. What time have I got?
that is the Chimata. What's it called again? I've got to get the name of this right, haven't I?
17:43, and the
Chimata
sun
Massive,
is just amazing.
Somebody will comment on YouTube and say we're pronouncing it all wrong. But I did actually check with Roraima. That is how you say it. So this Chimanta Massive, there is a route through the middle of it, so that might be the best way to go at it, is to go to the northern edge of the first outcrop we can see. If you look on a little nav map, you can see it easily, and then there's a route through the middle. So I'm going to change my course slightly to 300 and see how I get on. See if I'm going the right direction. I'll draw a measurement on the map. I'm still getting used to little nav maps since they've changed the layout in the beta of all the menu options. It's kind of thrown me.
Yeah, I've just went back to the original.
It's quite different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Open the engine up a little.
I enjoy the exercise of plotting the course into little nav map. It's, and having both, it's good.
It's interesting you say that. The question I was asked earlier, what I was doing just before I came on the flight, somebody asked me that's just starting out if I could plot he gave me the instruction for the route, said can you put it into little nav map and then sit in the 737 and program it into the FMC so we can compare one against the other and learn from that. Because I was as I was recording it, I was saying to him, that is a vertical learning curve when you first start, isn't it? Because you've got so much to learn.
Certainly, yes.
The FMC is impossible. I hate it. I don't touch them.
But once you get your head around it, the FMCs aren't that bad, I don't think. It's just getting your bearings to begin with, you know, of what is where in which page.
It's like doing
Yeah,
homework when you're young. It's a chore.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be fun. We don't do things that are not fun.
Well, that's right.
I haven't tried to program an FMC or the Airbus equivalent for probably 3 years now, because it's too easy to use programs like FS Tramp or Little Nav Map to make us a flight up, and it's already done for you, isn't it?
I guess my interest...
And the ability to be able to export it straight into the sim.
Yeah, the SimBrief integration is clever. But I guess the interest for
Yeah,
me is in learning how the actual FMC works. That's me though, because I'm a software developer. So my interest is in systems and how you use them.
Yeah, I'm not a software developer, and I
Us mere mortals just want it to work, Jonathan.
I totally agree with you, Jonathan. It's learning how it works.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
No, the the learning curve is how to mend it when you cock it all up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you know how to use it, when you suddenly got to start making changes, then you know what to do and how to do it, and what to do it in.
The hardest thing I found was after, I don't know, 5 or 6 years of doing the Boeing FMC, was trying to go over to the Airbus.
Oh yeah, that was a big learning curve. It's completely different.
Yeah, I hit a brick wall there. I just scratched my head all the time with Airbus.
What, not a pylon?
Splinters.
Scratched his head with a pylon. I wonder if Airfix make a model kit of a pylon. I'll get him one. So Connor on the live stream chat is saying, I'm on the server and still can't see anyone and my setting is all players. Don't worry too much. The one thing we did see from one of our members recently, and we were completely lost as to why he couldn't see anybody. He was actually running the Flight Sim beta, or beta, depending on what part of the world you're from. And if you're in the beta version of Flight Sim, you can't see anybody running the normal version, and vice versa. And he had completely forgotten that he had installed the beta, so that might be why. And it threw all of us. None of us had an answer for it. He even went as far as reinstalling Flight Sim, but he reinstalled the beta and still couldn't see anybody.
Yeah, and somebody told him, and we all remembered that.
I've got a nice constellation behind me at the moment. It's very good.
I have an eclipse of the sun going down behind the mountain.
It is crazy, isn't it? The light effects of the sunset.
Wonderful. I wish they could clear that horizon line. That is really off-putting. It's really off-putting. Yeah, no, it's just off-putting. No, in other words, it's spoiling it. It's a horrible, great line that goes through the horizon. It's awful.
The thing that amazes me is you can read your instruments from outside the aircraft.
Yeah, I've noticed that before.
Bizarre.
It's good because you can't read them from inside.
Am I seeing Linden the right way up?
Yeah, I've got myself a track IR, so I didn't be too clever for some reason.
How are you getting on with it, Lyndon?
Yeah, really good, because I suffer with a few visual balancing, so I was a bit concerned. But yeah, you can set it so it doesn't move, so much when you move your head, small amounts, so then losing large amounts.
I think
they're really good.
The one that Ellis has got has the same kind of setting where it kind of dampens it, so it's not too, it doesn't move around all over the place.
Yeah, I saw a review against DCS and with a guy using it, and maybe it was an old review, but it said that was a little bit more disorienting.
The Grass Monkey's got two functions that are very good. One is that you can freeze the view, and the other one is, and you can bind it to some keys on your yoke. You can freeze your view, and you can centralize your view. So it doesn't matter where you are, if you get disorientated, just push the button and it re-centralizes you, which is very handy.
Right.
Yeah, the Toby's got that too.
Extremely handy, yeah.
I'm going to descend down to the floor now because we're going to go through this valley around the back of this mountain, or piece of the mountain that we can see coming. We're going to go around the back of it. I thought staying low, you get to see the valley, don't you?
Oh, you're going to the right, not the left valley.
Yeah, I'm going down. If you look on Little Nav Map, there's a channel through the middle of the mountains.
Yeah.
There is too.
So I
can see where you're going now, John.
So I'm heading for the floor.
The only complaint I've got about the Grass Monkey one, is that if you get to switch it off, it really drains your batteries very quickly.
That's why I went and bought a pack of 50, Jim.
What sort of batteries does it use?
AA.
One AA.
Right.
Lasts about 50 hours.
unless you leave it on for 2 days, in which case it doesn't last
Yeah.
long.
I was going to say, we buy our batteries, because I've got a house full of kids, we buy our batteries in bulk from Amazon. And it's a massive saving. We get like boxes of 40 at a time.
What brand?
There's several. Amazon's own are just rebadged, but Duracell makes some that are industrial, I think they're labelled.
ProCell.
But yeah, there's several brands, but Amazon's own are basically rebadged by one of the big makers, and they're just as good. And they're really cheap if you buy them in bulk.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Well, a box of 40 or 50 of them.
I bought 2 boxes equal to 100. They're all Amazon ones.
Yep.
That was about 5 years ago. Still got half of them. And we got a lot of Christmas lights that run on them.
Yeah, when our kids were young, we had like the Nintendo Wii and all that, and they all had controllers, and we used to go through batteries at a frightening rate. So, all the Xbox controllers and TV remotes. So that's when we got wise as to where to buy them and how to get them more cheaply.
I just shout Alexa to change channel and it does it.
I got a very sophisticated automated irrigation system up at the batch, and I got 5 channels, I think, and the automated timers all take the AA's well, so that uses them. I should be up there now, but you guys are holding me up, so it has to wait.
Guys, on the subject of kit, I've got some old Logitech controls, yoke and throttle quadrant and autopilot box and so on, following my recent Honeycomb acquisitions. Any recommendations as the best place to get rid of them at all?
We have a for sale channel, don't we, Jonathan?
We did. Is it still there? It may have
That's been sold.
It's been sold. Yeah,
No one's bought it.
I think we got rid of it because nobody had used it. But you're
Oh,
welcome
maybe.
to post something in general, just to, tell people to message you privately if they're interested in it.
Okay, thanks. And would anyone recommend like eBay or
Yeah, eBay
Facebook
works.
Marketplace or anything like that?
Yeah, they all work.
Try local free ads. You can narrow it right down within whatever distance from where you live as well.
Were they taken about?
Is it Facebook got Marketplace?
Yeah, they were just saying that, yeah. Yeah, Facebook Marketplace works. I'm just trying to think. My daughters sell a lot of stuff on the internet, but it's craft things, not
Etsy.
hardware. Well, no, they use Etsy. There's also another one. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. I'd have to go and ask them.
Do you have Craigslist?
Sorry?
Like over here we have Craigslist. Do you have that over there?
It does exist, but it's not as popular as in the US.
I think ours is Gumtree, isn't it? It's the equivalent.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the thing. If I go and look in my email, well, I can't do it on that screen while we're flying, because obviously everybody will see it on YouTube. So I'm just going to look on a different screen.
In Aussie, the popular one is eBay, and over here in NZ, we've got our own. It's called Trade Me. Very popular.
I think it'll sell. Your this will definitely sell. And if it's postable, and if it won't fall to
Yes.
pieces in the post, you'll get rid of it, no problem.
Vinted is the thing my
Oh,
daughters
yeah.
use. But I think that's for clothes and craft stuff and things like that. Or that's what it's primarily used for.
I used Marketplace to get rid of some woodwork machinery, and the bloke that come to buy it bought about 5 times more than what he planned to.
I guess that's the advantage, isn't it? If you have buyer collects, then you can upsell other things when they get it.
That's one of the advantages of free ads.
Yeah.
He came to buy a bandsaw and he ended up going back with about 1,000 quid's worth of woodwork clamps and
Yeah.
cramps.
There's an interesting spike on the right hand side of this valley. I'm going to fly up to it and have a look at it.
You got no time for woodwork now, Dave. You've sold all your tools,
I'm not.
so you only fly the simulator now.
No, I've still got all my what I call heritage tools. You know, the real
Hand tools.
hand tools. And my woodwork bench that I built, but I doubt if I'll ever get rid of that because it's
Too sentimental.
no, it's better made than any bought one, and the cheapest bought one anywhere near the quality that I made is about £2,500. So there's no way I'd sell mine for that. Because there's about 800 quid's worth of beech wood in it.
Should we follow you, Jonathan?
No need to. You can stay in the middle of the valley. I'm just having a look at this outcrop because it's enormous. When you actually get close to it, it's probably 100 meters tall.
It's not so spiky.
It's more rounded on top. Yeah, it looks like a rhinoceros horn.
It's a pyramid.
It was put there by the spaceman.
There's one in front of it too. There's a second one.
Eric von Daniken's probably got a book about it.
Well, it is the Lost World.
That's where they put it.
I'm just flying over one of those, sinkholes.
Fascinating topography, really, isn't it?
It's crazy, isn't it?
This might have been all under the sea at one time.
Yeah, I see a starfish waving to me.
Oh, that, yeah.
Do you know the difference between a starfish and an octopus? Come on, Dave.
You're going to tell me there's a crab playing timpanis in a minute and a mermaid singing.
I did, well, I won't say just snorkeling, but diving as well for, well, I don't know, 20 years.
That must have been a big air tank.
Brilliant.
No, like fuel, you do fill them up occasionally.
Right, so when we come out of here to the southern end, we need to go and find the angle out because it's obviously a different angle than we originally.
It was a proper spiky bit on the right.
It certainly is.
So a little pond down here at the end of the valley, by the look of it.
That's Dave's sinkhole.
The Atlantic Ocean.
So yeah, when we came out of the valley, as soon as you get kind of clear of the main mountain, if you turn to 120 degrees, then it's 26 miles to an airstrip in the middle of nowhere that will be a job to find, but hopefully the advantages of GPS it won't be so difficult.
Is that the one we're heading for? Is that SBUQ?
Yep, that's the end of the flight. So once we come out of this valley, you're looking for about 120 degrees.
It says it's grass, looks like dirt. I had a look at it
It's a dirt
yesterday.
runway. It is a dirt
Runway, and it's not easy to find.
So yeah, there will be an element of circling to look for it. Just the scale of these hills is crazy, isn't it? Yeah, and there will be hills in the way of the 120 degree route, which is going to be fun. Pick your way through them whichever way you wish to. I'm going to slow down a bit, I'm going far too fast. I'm going to do a circle.
Cheddar Gorge look like a ditch, doesn't it?
Could follow the river actually.
Go back up this other valley to the left, and then it looks like there's a little saddle up here. We can hop through that and
Yeah, just
go over the top if you.
own navigation through the hills to get to the destination.
The little nav map's awesome. You can see where you are. It's like having a, well, it is. It's a ground track plotter, isn't it?
Exactly.
I remember when we first got the P3 Orions, that we were all fascinated by the fact that it had a ground track plotter in it.
I think the thing that always fascinated me was the Tomahawk cruise missiles. I think a lot of people don't realise your mouse that you've got on your desktop that hasn't got a ball in it, that technology came directly from the Tomahawk cruise missile. That is its kind of great-great-grandfather. Because the mouse watches the desktop going along underneath it. It's taking about 50 photos a second of the ground underneath it. So you think about what a Tomahawk is doing.
Oh, it's comparing them with what it's got in its memory.
Yep. So they do their satellite photography of the area.
Yep.
And then the Tomahawk flies along and it's comparing what it's seeing directly underneath it with what it's got in its head.
Yeah, adjusting course, yeah. And height.
And it's doing it at a hell of a rate of knots.
And it's not dependent on satellites?
No, nothing. It's completely self... It's got the route, what will be underneath it during its route is downloaded into it.
Never.
So it can't be interfered with. It's, once it's fired, it can't be stopped, basically.
Unless it hits a pylon.
Yeah, so the end result of all of that research is sort of 20 years after it was put into missiles, we get it as a 10-pence chip inside a mouse.
5 pence one if you buy a Logitech.
But I remember when the wireless mice first came in, and the ones without a ball, and they were expensive.
Yeah. Had two different ports, two different lasers, one firing and off a reflective at a 45
you had a
degree
special
angle.
mouse mat as well, yeah.
Yep.
Hey, part of my job was to clean the mouse's balls and its feet.
The jokes are going to write themselves now, aren't they?
That's a delicate operation.
What do you write on your CV for that one?
It was in a magnifying glass.
And looking at little nav map, a massive, just a whole group of playing, just like a group of 6-year-olds playing football.
It does, doesn't it?
There were 22 people trying to chase the ball.
All on their own flight path.
That always makes me laugh whenever we go past the football fields nearby, if it's the little kids out there. It is brilliant watching them.
Yeah.
Now watching the dads shouting and cussing.
One little ball and everybody except the goalkeeper was just in a big cluster in the middle.
Yeah, and whoever gets the ball is going to be a hero. Any concept of teamwork doesn't appear until they're about 13 or 14.
The thing that's changed now is girls' youth soccer doesn't do that.
They know.
They've not had those bad habits,
And they've stopped it at its root, because if there's any dissent to the referee in a women's game, it's an instant yellow card. Why isn't that in the men's game?
A few lessons to teach us, I think, with football. I think we should be learning a few lessons from them. I much prefer watching the women's football. It's a far better game.
I do. I think the players are better quality than most of the men.
Well,
It's a lot more pure, isn't it? It's so much more pure.
It's the way they work together.
Yep.
Blocks the program, not really to do that. I have to learn that skill.
There's not so much ego in the women's game.
No. And also, the crowd is almost all families. It's not groups of blokes that have got drunk and are screaming obscenities or singing songs that you can't repeat outside of the match.
Looking for a punch-up.
Pretty much. It's weird though, because I saw a thing about this recently on TV, and they were saying it's the only mass participation sport where violence has always been in its history. No other popular sport has ever had it happen.
Not even ice hockey.
No, the crowd doesn't get violent.
The crowd, okay.
Yeah, the rugby don't. Basketball,
Yeah, I was going to
baseball.
say, why don't rugby react like football?
Because it's the example is set on the pitch. You see a 5 foot tall rugby referee telling off a 7 foot giant, and they stand there silently. If they react, they're off the pitch.
Yeah, probably right. Yeah.
It's not, it's not complicated, is it? The example is set by the players.
You get a better class of spectator, may I say, at the rugby games.
Yeah, the chips and pies are still just as bad.
Sound like Wasps might be looking okay.
Well, only the men's team.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
still the same thing, isn't it? You know what I'm saying, though.
It just shows you, though, at the top level, all of these clubs are on a knife edge, unless they've got a wealthy backer.
Is anybody running that little nav map mod that you can click on in the top of your screen?
Runway 34 at the final destination.
So what's this mod for Little Nav Map? I've not heard of that one.
Yeah, I have. It's called up from the menu at the top. Yeah.
Oh, I see. So
Yeah.
it appears within the sim.
Yeah. It's the same view as you get on on your iPad, the web view.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's more limited set of controls, but it's useful.
Oh, does
I
that
have
use
it
the
in-
web server in Little Nav Map to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just installed it today, but all I get is a blank screen.
Yeah.
If you click it again, when I open it, it's blank, and then when I click it again, it works.
Where'd you get it from?
I can post it. Have we got a place to post things like that, Jonathan?
Just stick it in general. Well, there is an add-ons channel, I think.
Yeah, I'll stick it in there because I think there's a few versions of something
Yeah,
that work
that'd be
well.
really useful, because I think it sounds like that would work really nicely for VR as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether there was something that was different when it works in VR. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure if I got it off of GitHub or Flight Sim.
Notice when you turn on the VFR map in the sim itself, you can see all of us guys flying along in a group.
Yeah, they've changed that now, haven't they? So that works good as well. Yeah, but it's nice to have that nav map as well.
The guy that's developed FS Kneeboard has just come out with something that you can access many things from Windows within VR now.
Yeah,
Very good.
including that.
Yeah, this is just asked what runway we're using.
Good question. There's no wind, I don't think. Oh, 6 knots from the east. So
Got to be 16 and then.
runway
Maybe a
16.
Yeah, crosswind.
Runway 16 then. So got to find the runway first. I'm going to circle overhead, and I may watch you guys coming in.
You're going to run into me. Coming the other way. Already plotted my approach.
So I'm just watching the map to see us coming in. So we should see
Yeah,
the
my-
airfield.
My little nav map, I have to minimise and maximise it on the window to show it.
That prompted me to get a second monitor. It's wonderful.
I see the airstrip.
Yeah, it's a dirt strip, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I've also got the main little nav map in the corner of the screen just overlaid on the other one. That works really well.
Ah, I've got it. Yeah, it's just a strip of brown dirt.
Looks like Bert's going to touch down any minute.
Very good. You're famous, Bert. You were first down on the live feed on the internet. Right, let's circle overhead and watch everybody else coming in. See the nav lights coming.
Hello, radio check.
Yes, we can hear you.
Are you listening me?
Yes, we can hear you.
We got you.
Mark, can
Thanks.
we meet
Actually,
up
I'm new.
Okay, welcome.
Mark, can we meet up on Steam afterwards?
Wait a second, Jim.
Everyone's on finals.
I've got too much noise in my flags.
It is extraordinary, isn't it, that people from all over the world can talk as though they were in the same room. It's quite incredible.
It's brilliant, isn't it? And we can see each other's aeroplanes live.
Yeah.
Watch each other's crash.
Or land without wheels?
Yes.
Sorry, I said I wouldn't say anything, didn't I?
You're as bad as his daughter that
I lied.
as him for crossing runways without permissions.
18 months ago.
Or like 2 years ago.
Okay, Jim, say it again, please.
Can we meet up on Steam after this?
Yes.
This is going to be interesting. I'm coming in at you guys.
Yeah, it's going to be game of chicken then between you and Dave H.
I think nearly everybody's down now.
No, but you and Dave. Be you and Dave.
Right.
Yep.
Here we go.
It'd be you and Dave Senior. Yep. I'm looking at it like a tennis match.
The end of the runway, I might be able to duck off before he hits me.
I just went underneath you.
Low and slow. Then at 61 knots, nearly ready to fall out of the sky.
You might fall on top of a coffee shop.
Right, I'll leave Brown to come in myself now. Been watching everybody come in for the last 5 minutes.
We didn't hit each other. Look at that. Wonderful.
Yeah, why couldn't I land like that when I got A cars on? Oh, that was a brilliant landing. If I turned A cars on, I would have come in at about 500 foot a minute.
I've given up on A cars. You think you've done a bum landing and it scores you 100%. You do a bad, I don't know. Don't know how it works it out.
I did one this today. I had at the end of the flight. I did 60%.
I did a flight.
If I could cock anything up, I cocked it up.
Did a flight yesterday on a group. Two of the airports, at the main airports of ILS, the Kodiak came in absolutely beautifully, all the way down, and even flared before it landed, all on autopilot on the glide slope. Unbelievable. Best landing of it. Well, the plane did it himself, but beautiful landing, absolutely stunning, and it even flared it as well.
And what did he score? 65?
Oh no, I wasn't on. No, I was on a group flight. I wasn't scoring. I'm going to do it next time.
What plane was it?
It was a Kodiak. On an ILS. I did it 3 times, and I tried it at EGLC, London City, and it dive crash bombed straight into the river. But on the 3 large airports, beautiful landing and a flaring at 65 knots. You've got to control the throttle, but I couldn't believe it came in and actually flared for beautiful landing.
My biggest gripe is getting a stall on landing.
Well done, everybody.
Fail.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Amazing to see. I've just put the drone camera up above the field where us all parked here with the sun going down. It looks amazing.
Okay, thank you everybody, and see those that fly on Tuesday.
Yep, see you soon.
Good night, everyone.
Yes,
Thanks all.
Right, thanks a lot, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.
What's on,
Hi,
what's
Jim.
on Tuesday, Jim?
Good night, all.
Good night.
All right, all. Thank you, Jonathan.
That's okay.
Yeah, Tuesday night it'd be 8 o'clock kick-off. No, they have altered their
Mile.
procedures, so it might be from